because I'm not really into architecture, but I do like the symbol of home and everything that means to somebody. I mean, like a symbol of a car, it's like brings up questions of transportation and like westernized world and stuff like that. But the symbol of the house, even though it is a westernized house, it means something different to a lot of people because everybody has their own associations of home. And I chose that house in particular because I live in rural Canada and I look across the street and there's a house that looks basically just like that. A little bit different, but for me, that's not my house, but it reminds me of home because it's the scenery around my house. Like that's what home means to me. I think that by taking like average landscape and average houses and then putting them out of place, just simply raising them up when they don't really need to be raised up because there's no water, there's nothing really environmental that means that they need to be like elevated. And I feel that it really puts the house out of place. And when you have art that makes you ask questions, it makes you engage with the work a lot more. So I think I chose stilts because I always liked the look of the like maritime Canada or like those houses where are on stilts because of the water. And I always wondered like how do you get to those houses? Like do you have to go by boat? Like it opens up a whole bunch of questions, and then to have them on land, like it just makes it completely different. How would you get to this house anyway? Like imagine going to work every day. You'd have to climb up and down all these stairs. If anybody lives in the houses anyway. Like, obviously they seem inhabited because they're pristine, they're not run down, and they're very well upkept, but you don't see anybody in the pictures. So then that adds another tension between the absence and the presence of the human element. Because like somebody built these houses, they're being upkept, but you never see anybody. And it makes a sort of eerie and uncanny quality to the work. I guess it creates a different feeling in each viewer. Like every time somebody else looks at it, I get a different interpretation from that person. And one person told me that it reminded him so much of home, that he loved it so much, and he got a really warm feeling from it. Another person told me it's not about the house, it's not about the outside space, it's all about the inside space because you cannot see it. So everything outside sort of becomes irrelevant, and like you're so focused on the house and getting inside that like that becomes the entire subject matter. My teacher, he told me that I'm not creating pictures, I'm creating metaphors with them. And I think for everybody it's a different metaphor who sees the houses. For the most part, yes. It started off not matching up quite as well because I was still experimenting, I was still working with color and seeing what looked good, like the size of the house compared to the landscape. But as I kept going, as I kept working on it with more practice, like what I've envisioned in my head, I could get pretty close on paper.